What's good, everyone? I'm Travis again. Today we're going to be reacting to episode 2 of Demon Slayer. I was able to find um, Demon Slayer in Japanese with subtitles, so I think I'm going to be trying to see how that works. In episode 1, I watched it all in English, and it was still good, don't get me wrong, but I'm really interested to see how different it is in Japanese and seeing if I prefer that compared to if I prefer it in English. So in episode 1, I'm just gonna go to my notes real quick. So we have a main character, Tanjiro. He's kind of like, based on what I know from episode 1, he's kind of like your ordinary, everyday person. He seems like he's a farmer, where maybe farmer is not the right word, but he seems like he chops wood, he turns the wood into coal, then he goes to the local village to sell the wood. And it seems like he's the only one out of his family that works, so he's supporting his brothers, sisters, and mother. I'm assuming his father is dead. Tanjiro goes to the village to sell wood, and he stays out a little bit too late, and he has to spend the night at, I think, one of his friends' houses. So this friend, I don't know if they gave his name, but I don't recall, and I don't think I wrote it down. This friend warns him that demons are real and demons come out at night. Cut to the next morning, he goes back home and he realizes that his family has been murdered by what seems to be demons. We don't know yet. I don't know yet. It might be a human that did it, because Tanjiro was saying that he smelled another scent. So this other scent, other than the demon and his family, is probably what committed the crime. Eventually, he tries to bring his sister, who seems to be one of the only people that survived the attack, to the village to get help. And he comes across what I would assume to be a demon slayer by the name of... just give me a moment. Giyū. So the demon slayer is Giyū, and him and the demon battle back and forth for a little bit, and he's on the verge of killing the demon because he doesn't think they could be redeemed. And Tanjiro kind of pleads for his sister's life. So eventually, the first episode ends with Tanjiro and his sister, I guess, running to the village, or to some old man who the demon slayer says has the ability to possibly help him out in this situation. So yeah, that's the recap for episode 1. Really good episode, and as I said before, it was in English, so this episode is going to be in Japanese. I'll see how I like the two. You guys tell me how you liked it too. And yeah, episode 2 of Demon Slayer starts now.
すみませんが、あそこのカゴと藁に竹を少々いただけますか。
そりゃ構わねえけど、カゴは穴が開いてるぞ。
はい、お金は払います。
いや、いらんよ。穴の開いたカゴだし。
いえ、払います。
Yeah, so he seems like a really good kid.
竹も藁もやるよ。
でも払います。
He seems like the type of person that doesn't want to owe people favors. So even though the basket is damaged and not really that useful, if it has holes in it, he still wants to pay, that gratitude forward. He doesn't want to be indebted to anyone.
頭の固い子供だな。
収めてください、小銭ですが。ありがとうございました。
So I'm wondering if this is the village that they escaped to. Okay, yeah.
Nezuko?
Seems like she's hiding in the cave. His sister. I just want to make sure that I'm not on the wrong episode. Okay, we're back. Trainer Urokodaki Sakonji, I believe is what it said.
穴を掘ったのか。妹がモグラみたいになってしまった。
maybe that's a demon
そし
inside
て
of
す
her,
ごく顔をしか
like a
めてい
mole
る
type demon.
よっぽど日に当たりたくないんだなちょっと待ってろ
Yeah, so the sunlight is very damaging for them.
禰豆子禰豆子これに
Nezuko.
入れるか昼間も先に進みたいんだ俺が背負っていくから
That's a smart kid. That's a good.
入るここにカゴ
That's a good contraption that he made. And she just. Okay, so there's a little bit of comedy in the show.
禰
I'm
豆子
glad that I
大
was
きく
thinking
な
that it
っ
was
た
gonna
な
be just
この
all
間ま
doom
で
and gloom.
もっと小さかっ
But
たのに
there's lighthearted moments like this.
禰豆子お前大人の女の人くらいに大きくなっただろうあれと逆に小さくなれないか
Hmm.
山に行くならあの山は越えなきゃな
Alright, so it seems like they're heading to Mount Sagiri.
らないけどもう日が暮れるのにそんな大荷物背負っていくのかい
十分気をつけますありがとうございました
近頃行方知れずになってる人もいるからね迷わないようにね
No doubt. Wonder if he has a map or he's just going by feeling or just asking around.
お堂があるぞ
Hmm.
明かりが漏れているから誰かい
The
るみたいだ
animation
け
is
ど
so great.
行ってみよう
Wonder if they ever explain how you got a scar.
この山は道が険しいから誰か怪我をしたんだ
And I wonder if he has like a demon in him as well, or if the sensing, like the smell, is just his ability.
大丈夫ですか
人食いように
I wonder if the demons know each other. And it seems like she's getting triggered. Yeah, it seems like she's getting triggered not because the demon is there, but maybe the human side of her brain sees the slaughtered family and it reminds her of her family and what she possibly did to them, because she's the only surviving member. And yeah, what I was saying earlier is I knew that the whole cutesy side of her getting in the basket was kind of like, not so much a ruse, but I just knew there was going to be something more bloody coming afterwards.
妙な感じがするな。お前ら人間か？
He seems different than how she was, though. She was more mindless when she was a demon, whereas he seems very aware of what's going on.
おのか、やるな。でもこんな傷すぐ治るからな。
So they have instant healing abilities.
もう血は止まった。
Yeah. Oh!
メラやっぱり片方鬼なのかよ。妙な気配させやがって。なんで鬼と人間がつるんでるんだ。
Yeah, it seems like it's rare for humans and demons to get along in this world. And that's why the demon hunter Giyū didn't really think that she could be saved. His head sprouted arms? She needs to transform into that big muscular body. Oh, her mouth is closed though, so she can't really fight to her full power. Yeah, that's what I just said earlier. That he just doesn't know about. If his head is harder than a demon's, that. Oh, he's dead for good. Okay, so they were connected, and I guess he just broke his neck in that moment right there.
鬼は たくさんいるのだろうか。
そんなものではとどめはさせん。
Is this the old master he was
天
looking
狗の
for?
面、
Tengu?
この人足音がしなかった。
Tengu mask?
どうしたらとどめをさせますか。
人に聞くな。自分の頭で考えられないのか。
Well, his head's cut off, and he was going to stab him in the brain. So what else is there? Fire?
頭を潰すしか。
Like the only thing I could think of is like burning him. 'Cause wouldn't this be similar to stabbing him though?
頭骨を砕いて完全に潰すにはやっぱり何度か石を打ちつけないと
No, that would...
苦しむだろうな。一撃で絶命させられるようなものはないのか。
He's even worried about demon suffering. Yeah, like I was talking about earlier, fire, you need fire. And this is kind of similar. Yeah.
わしは鱗サコンジ。
So this person is Urokodaki. And I think he's the person that Giyū was mentioning in the first episode that we should come link up with. Like he's the master.
富岡義勇の紹介はお前で間違いないな。
Yeah.
はい、かまど炭治郎と言います。妹は禰豆子で。
炭治郎。妹が人を食った時お前はどうする？
Probably still try to help her, right? That's just the type of person he is. You can't just backhand someone like that.
判断が遅い。わしの言っていることがわかるか？
Where someone in his family killed someone when they became a demon, and he had to
お前
kill
は
them.
鬼殺の剣士としてふさわしいかどうかを試
Demon
す。
Slayer Corps.
妹を背負ってついてこい。
Yeah, like I was saying in the first episode, I really love the mix of, I think it's called animation, the animation style where there's a lot of 3D and there's a lot of like traditional classic animation. It just makes the world pop, like the mountains in the back, I'm assuming the rice fields in the foreground. It just makes it really pleasant for the eyes. So is he training him?
この人は一体何
Or
歳
is
なん
he
だ。
just bringing them to his
やっ
house
ぱり全く足音がしない。
to buy a kimono? For his sister.
これで
That's a sweet
俺
girl.
は認めてもらえましたか。
See what he looks like
試すのは今からだ。
behind the mask.
山に登る。
His resolve is strong now, though.
ここから山のふもとの家まで降りてくること。今度は夜明けまで待たない。
I wonder if demons hide out in the mist, in the fog. Because it's kind of dark in there too, right?
石。
Oh yeah, he's hiding in the fog actually, setting traps and beating them up. Ah, he tricked him.
落とし穴。
So now he's
なる
stuck.
ほど。仕掛けがあるわけだ。そういうことか。
Okay, I guess he wants to test his thinking abilities, his reactions, his mind, his strength, not just his stamina.
戻れるだろうか。失神するかも。いや、戻るんだ。呼吸を整えて、罠の匂いを嗅ぎ分けろ。
Yeah, I wonder if this is a special ability. Because it doesn't seem like he's a regular human. In some areas it does, because of how he fell down the trap. But in other areas like this, it seems like he has natural intuition, not just a scent ability. But it seems like he's able to gauge his surroundings. Right.
だからってそれを全部回避できるほど急に潜在能力
even though your mind is still there, able to do all these things, it doesn't mean your body is there, and vice versa can be true. Right, so he's tending to her. So I do believe that maybe in this world, demon slayers are so used to killing demons that maybe they forgot or they don't know that there's a chance that the human can still be in there. So maybe Tanjiro showing the demon slayers that, hey, look, my sister, she defended me even though she's a demon, and she defended me from other demons, shows them that there is a possibility that the human can be redeemed. He should just wear the mask the whole episode. Honestly. It'd be pretty cool. We made it.
取りました
Between her and her brother, which makes sense, because usually I would assume that a demon slayer would just kill the demon. And now he has a new pupil. We're done with Demon Slayer episode 2. This episode I enjoyed as well. There was a lot of, well, not so much lore building, but there was more characters introduced, which I enjoyed. We got to see Tanjiro and his personality a bit more. Earlier in the episode, we saw how when he wanted to build a little container for his sister, that people wanted to give it to him for free, but he wanted to pay for it. So it seems like part of his personality is not being indebted to people and showing that gratitude and putting that gratitude forward. I really enjoyed the interactions he had with his sister, where she was getting in and out of the little barrel that he made for her. It was really cute, made for a good moment. And that moment came before we got to see a new demon. I don't think they gave his name, but he seemed very different from her, and she's the only demon I have reference to. So he seemed like he still had his mental faculties, whereas she seemed more feral when she was in her demon form. Even now, because she doesn't really talk to her brother, nor does she really acknowledge him. It just seems like she's going on pure emotion. Whereas this new demon seems like not only did he take over the body of the person, but he also took over the mind. So it was also interesting to see how you deal with demons. Cutting off their head alone isn't enough to kill them. Seems like you have to, for the time being, for what we know, you have to expose them to the sunlight where they'll catch fire and die. Or what I'm assuming you can do is you can catch them on fire yourself what I'm assuming you can do is you can catch them on fire yourself, and that'll probably kill them. I'm assuming the more the story goes along, the more we'll learn of different ways to restrain and kill demons, because as we saw in this episode, the demon lost his head, but his body and mind were able to act independently until the body fell off like a cliff and broke its neck, which affected the head. So they're acting independently, but they're still linked together. And we saw, what was his name? And we saw Urokodaki. Just have to look at my notes real quick. And he seems like he's the sensei of Giyū, and Giyū sensed whether it's resolve or he sensed potential in Tanjiro. He sent a message along to his sensei in order to teach the main character to become a demon slayer. That way he could protect his sister and other people in the village. And yeah, that's pretty much the sum of what we saw this episode. It was a really great episode. I love the little comedy bits, and I love the characterization of the main character, just showing off his personality a bit, and just showing off new characters and just building upon the world. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm gonna see how you guys like Japanese compared to English, and I'm gonna maybe alternate between the two. And yeah, hopefully the video uploads, and the opacity I increase it this time, so I'm gonna see if I'm still able to upload it and get it out to you guys. But yeah, with that said, good vibes and deuces.